Welcome guys. In this lecture I will explain filter transformation implementation. Okay, here I will show you two mappings. Okay, based on these mappings you will understand how exactly these filter transformations will work in informatica. Okay, now see here, in my first mapping I take source as a DEP table and target as a DPT dim table. Okay, so whatever data having location ID equal to 1700, I want to load only that data into this TPT dim target table. So this is one particular mapping. So when it comes to another mapping, I want to load only whose salary is in between 2000 to 9000. I want to load only the data into this source emp table to target emp underscore dim table. Okay, so as per these mappings, these are the my business requirements. Okay, now we'll see practically how these things will works in informatica. Okay, now go to DB level, database level. First you should understand how this source table looks like. So first I will show you DP table. Okay, so use query select star from DGPT. Okay, now run this query. See, so in this DP table I have department ID, department name, manager ID and location ID. So as per this particular requirement, so I want to load only whose location ID equal to 1700. I want to load that data from this source to this target. Okay, now we'll see how many records having with 1700 location ID. Okay, where location ID equal to 1700. Now run this query. See, now see count of this particular rows. Total 21 records is available based on this location ID equal to 1700. I want to load all these records into this particular target table dpt underscore dim. Okay, so this dpt underscore dim table I will create under this particular info underscore tgt schema. Okay, I will show you how to create these target table structures, all these things now. Okay, so first I need to import this source table from database to our informatica level. So in this case I am using this particular source folder. So go to this source analyzer. Okay, clear this one, click on this source analyzer. First I need to import source, right? Click on these sources, import from database. Okay, so actually this particular db table presented under this HR schema, so that's why I connected to this HR schema following provided by username and password. Okay, click on connect, expand this one, select that particular table dep table. Okay, click on OK. So meanwhile I disable these keys. This concept I will explain later point of time. Right now you will not focus on all these things. Okay, not a key, make it as all key type as a not a key. Click on save. Now my dp table is available under this HR schema in this particular source folder. Okay, now I want to create this target structure. So now I will show you how to create this target structure. So simply drag this particular source table into this target designer. Okay, double click on this. So as per this particular mapping document, what is my target name? dpt underscore dim, right? So same name I provide here, dpt underscore dim. Okay, then click on OK, click on apply, click on OK. Okay, now click on save. So if you want to add any additional columns, now see, so whatever columns is available in source table, same columns is available in target table, right? So that's why I copy same structures. Okay, now once I rename this particular target table, go to targets. See here we have one more option called generate and execute SQL. Okay, if you select this option, first it will ask you to connect which schema you want to generate this particular structure. Okay, now click on connect. Now I want to generate this table structure into info underscore tgt. So select that particular schema, then provide password and username. Okay, username and password info tgt, then provide password. Click on connect. Okay, now I want to create same table in this schema, info underscore tgt schema. Okay, so before that I will show you one more thing also. First we need to query that particular table is available or not in this particular target schema. Okay, so dept underscore dim, present there is no schema, there is no table available inside this particular schema, right? Now as soon as I execute this particular database object generation option, automatically this particular table structure created inside this particular schema. Now you will see. Now I click on generate and execute option, click on OK. Now see here it will show some information. Script mktables.sql successfully generated, running ODBC SQL script, and also create this table structure. Now right before we executed same query, right, at the time it displayed table or view does not exist. If you run again this same query, now see this particular table structure gets created. Okay, now I am going to be create mapping. Okay, so this way we will generate target table structures from informatica to database level. Okay, or you can directly create table structures by using SQL statements also fine. Okay, click on save. So now my source and my targets are ready. Okay, now I am going to be create mapping. Click on go to mapping designer, click on this mappings menu, click on create, provide mapping name, loading based on location ID, click on OK. Now first I drag this source, then I drag this target. Okay, now what I will do, I will copy this expression transformation and drag all these ports to expression transformation. Okay, then drag filter transformation here, create filter transformation. Okay, how to create? Click on this transformation menu, click on create. This is one way. Then select drop down, choose filter transformation, provide name, filter, location ID. Okay, click on create, click on done. Now my filter transformation is ready in this particular mapping. Now I drag all these ports to filter transformation, then I provide here condition, filter condition. Okay, go to properties, click on filter condition. Now I will provide the filter condition based on location ID. See, so if you click on these ports, whatever ports available inside this particular sources filter transformation, all ports displayed here. Now I need this location ID, right, as per this business requirement. So that's why I'm selecting this location ID. Okay, location ID equal to 1700. So whose location ID equal to 1700, I load only that data into target table. Now validate this particular query. Now this got succeeded, expression passed successfully. Okay, click on OK, click on apply, click on OK. Now link this post to target table. So department ID equal to department ID. Okay, department name equal to department name, manager ID equal to manager ID, location ID equal to location ID. Okay, now my mapping is ready. Now validate this particular mapping. Now if in case if anything happen in this particular mapping, immediately this particular mapping states as a invalid state. Okay, now click on validate. Now our mapping state showing as a valid. So our input ports, output ports is connected perfectly to the target table. Okay, now click on save. Okay, now my mapping is ready. Now I want to create one session. Okay, so go to workflow manager. Now create one task. It means one session you will need to create. Click on this task, click on this session, or you can create using this option. Click on create. Okay, this way also you will create. Before creating any session, just clear this working area. Okay, now click on the task, click on create. Now before creating session, first you need to copy this mapping name. Go to mappings, click on edit, copy this mapping name. I already explained, right, this concept of why session is required. Okay, all these things. Provide s underscore followed by mapping name. Click on create, select that particular mapping name here. See, m underscore loading location ID. This is my actual mapping just before we are building here in this particular designer. Okay, select that mapping, click on OK, click on done. Okay, now my session is ready. Okay, click on save here. Now copy this session name. Okay, click on OK. Now create workflow. Click on workflow designer, workflow menu, click on create. Okay, wf underscore provide session name. Click on OK. Now drag this session to this particular workflow area. Okay, so this is my session name, then link to this particular task. Okay, now double click on this, just provide all these connections. So this is my source. I am providing source is coming from HR schema. Now actually dpt underscore dim I need to load into info underscore tgt, so that's why I select that particular schema. Click on OK. Now target load type as a normal. Click on uncheck this option. Okay, uncheck, click on apply, click on OK. Okay, now click on save. Okay, now our mapping is ready, our workflow is ready. Now I'm going to be run this particular mapping. Now select this particular area, start workflow. Now go to manager. Now it's currently running status. Okay, so now we'll see how many records getting loaded into source to target. Go to database level. So present there is no data inside this particular dpt underscore dim. If you run this particular query, automatically based on condition, location id condition, all data getting loaded into this target table. Okay, so this way we will implemented in this filter transformation. Okay, if you want to filter any data based on certain condition, then we will use this filter transformation in informatica level. Okay, now same thing I explained another mapping document by using this emp table. Okay, so here my business rule is where salary greater than 2000 and salary less than 9000. So in this case also, first we need to import this source table and generate this target table, then we will implemented these business rules by using filter transformation. Okay, now first I will go to informatica level. First we will check whether our source table is available in informatica or not. First see here my source table is available. Okay, now I want to generate only target. Okay, first I will generate this target. Drag this, rename this particular target table name emp underscore dim. Click on OK. Now my target table is ready. Initially I disable this not a key option. Now I need to generate this particular target table structure into database level. In that case, first we need to check whether this particular table name is available or not in target schema. Okay, emp underscore dim. Run this. So present there is no table available Okay, now I'm going to be generate target table. Okay, select this target. See here we have option called generate execute SQL option. Already we are connected this schema, right? Or just directly execute this generate and execute option. Click on OK. Now this particular table structure gets created inside this schema. Okay, info-tgt schema. Now run this query. Now table structure getting created. Okay, now I am going to be create mapping. Okay, now go to mapping designer, go to mappings, click on create. Okay, m underscore I am providing loading salary. Okay, so as per this requirement we are loading salary, right? Whose salary is greater than 2000 and salary less than 9000, same thing we will implement it by using this mapping. Okay, so I am providing same name. Okay, click on OK. First the drag this source, drag this target. Okay, then what you will do, you will drag expression transformation. So each and every mapping expression transformation is mandatory. Why? Because if in case future any requirements has been changed, you need to implement from this particular expression transformation, so it is easy to use. Okay, if in case we want to add any additional uh, 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 changes required for this mapping, you need to add in this particular expression transformation, directly generate that particular logic and connect it this target. Okay, so that's why make a habit to involve expression transformation for each and every mapping. Okay, now create filter, select this filter FLT salary, click on create, click on done. Drag this filter transformation, drag all these ports to filter. Now provide condition. Okay, now my requirement is whose salary is greater than 2000 and salary less than 9000, right? Same thing I use here. Now provide salary less than 2000 and provide unfunction greater than 2000, right? Use greater than 2000 and salary less than 9000. In between salary 2000 and 9000, I want to load only those data into target tables. Okay, click on validate. Now this got succeeded. Okay, now click on OK, click on apply, click on OK. Now I connected this source post to target table. Connected. Now click on validate. Now see our mapping will become a valid. Okay, now click on save. Now go to workflow manager. First we will create task. Go to task developer, clear this. Before creating it means session, first you need to copy this particular mapping name. Okay, go to workflow. So go to tasks menu, click on create, then provide session name as a s underscore mapping name followed by mapping name. Click on create, select that particular mapping. See, this is my mapping name, same mapping I selected here. Click on OK, click on done, click on save here. So go to workflow manager. Before going workflow manager, copy this particular session name. Okay, click on OK. Now I'm going to create workflow manager. Okay, select workflow menu, create, provide naming convention wf underscore followed by session name. Okay, click on OK. So now my workflow getting created. Now I link to session to this workflow. Okay, so this is my session. Copy this, then provide to link task using link task. Double click on this, go to mapping, provide the connections. Source is coming from HR schema. Target I am going to load info underscore tct. Okay, select that schema name, click on OK, select target load type as a normal, remove all these options. I will explain later point of time all these options. Okay, click on apply, click on OK. Now validate this workflow, click on save. Okay, now I run this workflow, start workflow, go to monitor. Now see, it got succeeded. Double click on this. Now choose source to target option. Now see, out of 107 records, 80 records getting loaded into target table. Okay, now run this query. Now see, all data getting loaded. Whose salary between 2000 to less than 9000, all the data getting loaded into this target. Okay, so this way we will implement filter transformation. Okay, so if in case if future any mapping document provided, then you should understand this mapping document clearly, then you will start building the mapping. Okay, so this way we will use filter transformation in informatica. Okay, in next lecture I will explain what exactly router transformation. So I will explain difference between filter and router, so in next lecture. Okay, so that's it guys. Okay, thank you.